Hi everybody, my name is Jessica Holyfield and I'm a professional dance choreographer and dance educator based out of the southeast of the United States, and we are here. It is the second episode of Planet C's full cams we're going to look through. I'm excited for this. We had some really fun ones last time. I think we have a little less than 20 to look through, which I'm excited for, so let's go ahead and get into it. Okay, our first group looks to be Aichishin Kolishjian. I wonder if it's our Boys Planet group. I think it says that right there. Oh man, I mean, our Chick Chick Boom guy from the K group was near and dear to my heart, so I am looking forward to this.
You like a truck and make you fly. Vamos a know that you want it, boom. Go switching that's about it, boom. Ra-ta-ta-ta, I'ma make it, boom, boom, boom. Vamos a know that you want it, boom. Chaos be so catastrophic, boom. Ra-ta-ta-ta, I'ma make it, boom, boom, chick, chick, boom.
We have a lot of looking down from Christian. Fixing this a lot too.
Let's go!
Trying to harmonize. I appreciate the effort, a fun little remix near the end. I can see maybe one, possibly two of them getting to All-Star. I don't know if all three will, because some of it was giving an impression. I know that our judges most likely judge groups that have any sense of skin in the game, either with Boys Planet or as idols themselves, a little bit harsher. Should that be the case? I come from the position, no, and I've touched on it on many of the other analysis or breakdowns that we've done together. In the case here, I was a little, not worried, but I was a little bit intrigued and interested as to why Christian's his line distribution was what it was, but because he took the chorus and he took the ending, it makes sense why we have my other two guys take on this first. I mean, we're stable, a little bit of restrictiveness in the torso, but you could chalk it up to preference. I mean, we got some head ISOs involved there, which I appreciate. That's what I like about the original choreography. But, really nice intensity and grunginess of tone there that a lot of times people have that expectation of with a Stray Kids track, right? Because of Felix. I know Banchan also does that. So I could see Christian getting an all-star for this. I don't know if I would put anybody 1 star, but more, I would say maybe, he's a little bit more tenor. Let's see. Our dancing wasn't the most complex, but for the choreography, they did a good job in executing what they were given. I also know there's a really good chance that Mnet selects the songs, because there's so many correlating songs from the K and the C group. It's not coincidental. We know that was strategized. So I have no idea who had the pleasure of truly picking their own song and who who had to do what they were told. This one worked well for Christian. I think in where his lines were. My other two guys held their own very well. Let me see. It's like Chai Jishin. Maybe this is that guy, and then Shiyan Hao, maybe him. I mean, all 3 all-stars, that would be cool. I think they did very stable work here. I'm going to say, though, 1 all-star, I'm going to say 2 2-stars. That's what we're going to start this out with, based on not as much. Because we look at, for the show, they're looking at potential, talent, and charm. So potential is, I would say, whenever you're introduced into the space on stage, how is your character when you're talking with the judges before you begin? Because that sometimes can be an indicator of, you may not be as full of potential as we're expecting. Even how judges talk to them after is also a determining factor of potential on interactions in the space. I think that's an interesting one. So I can't really measure that. Talent, we can go off the vocals and the dancing, or whatever lines you're given, whatever song you're given, how are you able to work with that? And then the charm is also something a bit tricky to measure. Sometimes it can look a bit cringe here if we're not given proper context from the episode, and sometimes it may look a little too deadpan when that was the intention. So that's why I'm going to land here. I could be wrong. That's okay. We're here for a good time. On to the next one. Our next guy, he's doing it looks like a TXT track, the exact same one out of the entire discography that we saw from our K group. You know what I mean. So his name is Dang Hong Hai. Okay, here we go.
Someone like you 세상 단 하나 서로를 기대같이 너와 난
His boy's playing it too.
나에게 내일 또 만나 말해주던 날 반짝이 내 눈앞에 네 손을 다 놓친 채 한참을 헤맨 뒤에 오늘 한마디 나는 믿어 we are meant to be 늦어져도 돼 나를
Stable. Smart in his when to catch his breath. It's a lot of power. Good usage of our dynamics and engagement with our choreography. Oh, I didn't even realize there's a little bit of house there. And he said, confetti! That was cute. Some snow. It was a bit of a spoil because we saw it come out before he finished, but he still made it an own little moment. Now we did, if we're comparing the K to the C, his had more stability all around. The guy from K had a uniqueness of his tone, right, which can help on the charm side and the potential side on his dancing. Here, he definitely gives a, I'm pretty ready to debut, right? Which is really nice. It is nice to see him again. I think black here suits him very well. I'm going to give him an all-star while we chat. Here, you know that it's a bit on the lower tone, and whenever you have a group track, it's hard because the song is tailored to X amount of people and your soloist doing it. So I thought that was interesting, the parallel here as well. Very stable. I noticed he intentionally didn't sing there, sang here, so I appreciate the rehearsed when I'm going to not breathe versus breathing. You can tell that we have that practice there, which is great. Sorrow, see you there tomorrow. And he's like, let's go. Love it. Dance break. Now could we most likely improve in the area of adding a jack, right? That. Boom. We saw that there. It is what it is. I thought it was a fun little moment. Not enough to take away the moment in and of itself. I appreciate it. It's cute. Yeah, so incorporating more of a jack or an authentic groove into the house section there. But because I haven't even really looked at TXT doing the choreo, I can't really say how they're doing it, but also the note would still be given to them if we're looking at authenticity of style within our choreography. He did great. I would give him an all-star for it, maintain his 3. I also know with both K and C, really high chance that no one got to pick their stars, and so we're just here for a good time, bless it all, right? So I think he did a great job here. He should be proud. I'm hopeful we're not using our Boys Planet contestants in a critical way on the show, because I know there is a potential for that, but I would say so far they've held their own mighty fine, just like on the K group side. I do believe they're going to show him, and they're going to show the last guys, because I do believe some of these are not going to get shown in the episode because there's so many. Here we go. Next one up. Okay, we have Backdoor Stray Kids. We have Hashirong, Jia Hanui, and Lee Ju Hao. Cool, ready. I like Backdoor by Stray Kids.
Hey, you wanna come in? That's all you drove, 접은 건 가시. 이제 보편대로 party. 감당한 데 빠지지. 애고기였자. 참 먹는 걸. 다 불고 맘대로 지금 웃고라뇨. 불 끄고는 밝혀라 밤새. 어떤 흙으로 모아 밤새. 손잡이를 흘려내가 원하 동글 담을래.
Is this our Boy Story group?
들리는 음악 소리. 내 목소리가 던지노로 외쳐 멈지 할 시간 거의 없어.
Backdoor.
Hey, come inside now.
Yeah.
Hey,
And each one deviated.
Yeah, Boys to Planet, I'm the winner.
Cool. When it comes to reworking a choreo for 3 people, this is fantastic. Because you're used to seeing this one with 8 people.
Hey, make sing wow 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 yeah. Try to do the wow wow wow.
Get the low tone.
Now, say 3, 2, 1.
Let's go. This one can be very fatiguing.
You wanna come in?
Want to come in? Also, this one was a track used in the original season of Boys Planet as well. What was it? You want to come in? That part, because they won that first challenge with us. This was great. I don't know if, because it's reading here, it says NCC. It doesn't say Boy Story in their title, but they look familiar. And I know Boy Story came as a trio. Maybe that's beside the point, but if we look at how this choreography is structured, because like I mentioned before, it is made for 8 people. Like, yo. The fact that they all had some really nice choices and having a nice lower tone recognized, and I literally touched on that exact thing with our Stray Kids, a former group, the Chick Chick Boom, where having a low tone, because you got Felix, who is known for that within the group. It's a nice little charismatic part of it, which helps contribute to the type of discography that they have. It's a nice note to have. So the fact that they have it here is really cool. Good line distribution. They're matching each other's energy pretty well. I would say out of the 3, my guy right here, his range is a little different, meaning how he's going through his lower body. Slightly different than the other 2 guys. But they're all very stable in their respective areas of growth, right? Knock, 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 knock. Now this is fun. Good intensity, matching very well. I love how, for that part, you had a little feature moment, followed by, sorry, I had to sneeze off camera. But the feature of my first guy, how he stopped, had his moment, and then my guy in the middle, he also stopped and had his moment. It helped make the first guy's choice rehearsed or an intentional choice, not a I can't do this section of the choreography and sing at the same time. It was very calculated, and the fact that it wasn't just one person doing it, it was multiple people having a pause to sing their part I thought it was very smart. I really like them. I like their movement quality here. Yeah, oh, gosh, I missed it again. Yeah, the knock's cool with the lower body. Now, I had somebody ask me, what is movement quality? So the best way would be, you know, it's close to one's texture. So when I talk about texture in dance, it's the adjectives of the word. So if we equate our moves to words, vocabulary is what we also can reference it as. How you describe that vocabulary, right? There's a difference between a dog and a big dog, or a voluptuous dog, or a classic dog. I don't know, it's just off the top what I'm thinking. That depending on the vocabulary word to the adjective of it, it can relate and associate interestingly in our brains and how we phrase it in a sentence, right? So that's how, when somebody has good movement quality, it's similar to when somebody is very, or not articulate, but they can be very intellectual in well-spoken, right? And how they speak, right? Which I find to be interesting, especially if you're well-spoken within the realm of the topic that you are talking through. That would be the styles of dance that you are representing as the equivalents of that. So that's kind of like a shorthand version of how I would express or explain what good movement quality is. I really appreciate it because we also have a direct comparison to Stray Kids and even more so to Boys Planet last season to kind of reference on how they're doing on the stability side and on the movement side. So that's, hopefully I was able to help with that if you were curious about it. This format's really nice where they're just switching off with people for a trio instead of it being a diagonal of these archways with people traveling. It's smart. I really like that. And they go, yeah! I like the fan coming out of it as well. We're here for it. He said a little, what is it, a little lawnmower moment, which is fun. Traveling it up, which we're here for. That here. That was really cool to hear. Yeah. Let's go. I wonder if they would have good intensity, even with the head knock in the middle of that. Was fun, right? I mean, the answer is still no to that. I'm not going to go anywhere someone's inviting me if I've never met you before. So, but anyway, they did a great job. I could see all of them get All-Star, which I think so far, well, this episode format, when I was noticing with Kay, I hadn't watched it yet, and I'm going to here very soon. It's just a different order in which they showed the 3 stars to the no stars to the 1 stars, based on how I was measuring them. So having so many all-stars up front, I know we're going to get to some struggle buses. I just don't know when. But I would say so far, these guys, this trio, really, really strong. And I'm hoping I'm right. I think it'd be cool if this was Boy Story. I've never seen the group. I've only seen like the cuts to them, right? And I think there was somebody who did a Boy Story track last episode. So I would assume that they're going to be in the episode if I am remembering them as who they are. For they're the very, very, or the idol, you know, we've already debuted idols of the C group, so that would be weird if they weren't. But anyway, this was really fun. Okay, so we have Sheep by Lay from, what's his name? Chon Cha Owi and Dong Ji Chun. Chun? Maybe? Okay, cool. Ready for it. Sheep by Lay is a vibe. Lay solo works are interesting.
What can I say, man? 森林里走 Be careful, bro 不幻想无脸危险 All around
Told you we'd get here at some point.
You don't know That's how the story goes 没人在闹要你讲你 wow 就像是翻越日历很快就遗忘掉一样的个性 Put it on you 一样的个性
Ab service, right?
Drop, shake I make it hot, baby Drop, shake I know you like it how Drums, bass, hand up, baby Don't ever stop, baby Don't play Don't play Don't play, man Try not shoot with me Now Oh
I am the sheep. That could sound like something else very quickly, won't it? Timing was a bit off there. Oh, did you hear my voice crack? I'm a China sheep with a finish facing each other. Okay, I can see them teeter. I don't know if I would... That's not something to go home over, I don't think. Because it wasn't that they weren't that awkward on the dancing side. Their timing was off. Also, their range and how they're tossing is different, which would work if their tones were more stable. And they had charisma in how they're presenting vocally, is normally when that gets a pass. Which isn't that funny to think about? My guy in the purple, he has nice fullness in his range. And then my guy in white does cut off a smidge in his torso. You can probably pick up on it when you see him dance next to my purple guy. They're not the most unstable. Part of it is the song choice. Little kick out. I am the sheep. Timing was very, not very off, but off enough. With a walk away, with a finish. So, with this one, I could see them teeter in the 1-star area, possibly 2, maybe. Because going all-star is I'm debut ready, no questions asked. I have individuality as an artist within a group, but also can work with a group if applied. How they're presenting themselves in stage presence, right? There's certain charm about it. There's not necessarily a uniqueness, but I'm not trying to fit in a mold of covering something as I'm making it my own, and it's successful in that venture. And also a certain degree of physical fluency, meaning that I'm pretty aware of my body enough to know and be able to really sound off and work with whatever I'm given, right? Because it is one thing where if I'm given a song and it's not my choice in the song, that can really set you up, right? Because there's certain songs that just won't work with my vocals compared to somebody else's as successfully. But then on the other hand, if you have the freedom to be able to navigate through that and figure out a way that works for you with it, then that's a cool opportunity to grow. But also, I, once again, have no idea what endearments these people were ever allowed on song selection to actually innovating it to work for their vocals, such as a key change, octave change, things like that. So I am leaning more on the 1-star side. I can see my guy in purple bump up to 2 possibly. But I'm going to say 1-star category here because as a duo, they weren't cohesive, which can affect each independent person's way of coming across for your panel and within the space. So that does feel a bit on the harsher side, but my gut's leaning more in that 1-star realm. Not 2-star wouldn't be surprising, but this wouldn't go all-star based on how I've been reviewing them. Okay, next up, it's a group that's doing a 2us track. I feel like this track's been done before on the K side. I don't know if it was this past episode or not. Let me see. Chunrichi, Hong Ju-hao, Ham Sin-yu, and Lin Ting-on. Ready, let's go.
내가 애쓰면 너 나의 앱이 되죠 어떤 순간에도 너를 찾을 수 있게 내가 끌리는 정말 평생 이유는 매일매일 우리는 아직도 몰라 나라 위인지 말이고 손대고 부르는 건 아치고 세게 너와 나 우리 어려보니까 같은 섹터들이 가장 많아 처음엔 너의 춤을 따라주고 싶어 좋아하는 것 같게 좋아하고 싶어 완전 그랬어 한번 바쁜 몸을 모든 내 이기모 우리라는 말에 세상이란 걸까 내 맘이 자꾸 너에게 가려운 거래 내가 애쓰면 너 나에게 있다죠 이제 나 오늘부터 내가 애쓰면 너나 애비다 해줘.
With the finish, with the fun rotating bevel finish. That was very cute. Okay, what stars would we give these boys? I could see one of them getting a no star. No. He was very stable. I think he ran into a problem Yumiki ran into, and if you want to hear my thoughts on Yumiki, go watch the K full cams. I haven't seen the episode, I have no idea. I still don't know what he got, so I'm excited to figure that out. But my guy that was here in the, I think it's what, Sebastian fit? His voice cracked pretty aggressively. That would drop the star. Now, the choreography does have a sense of fullness to it. That's a to us thing. That would be something. I don't know if I've actually done a choreo breakdown of this one. I do remember doing their very first one. Because if the track acoustically is pretty chill, like what we're hearing, the movement's very loud for the chillness of the song, right? It doesn't have a sense of intimacy or conversation like we're presenting in our vocals. So I don't know if that's a to us thing or if that's how they're executing the choreo. But also to us does execute the choreo very fully. The archway is cute. You did pretty good. Woo! It does give an impression to me that at certain times within the track, it comes across like we're holding on to hitting our notes. We're holding on to the choreography in comparison to resting within the choreo for how it's presented or resonating. So an example of this would be, it does have a, I don't know if it's just how it is in post-production, that we're a bit delayed in our notes that we're holding compared to the tempo of our track, as well as our choreography that we're doing. There's this extra pull, not a pull, it's not extra either. It's whenever somebody's pulling back, there's only one speed to it, which is just I'm pulling it back to get it on the timing, not I'm pulling and making an artistic choice to match the texture of our music in that moment. So we're missing some dynamics or some textures in how we're presenting the choreography that doesn't help promote individuality because we're just too busy doing the choreo, right? So that's what I'm picking up on, an observation. You see what I mean? So all of this here, there's sometimes can be a little bit of a sway, something that's productive towards the choice versus just I'm shoving two halves of a heart together, right? Which is why it's a bit tricky. Oh, and that's what brought him down to a star. I would say if he was stable there, we could see him push to a 2-star, but a 1-star because of the crack, we're not regulating our vocals. He has a good high note there. I can see him exist in the 2-star realm. That guy there in the blind. I don't know if he had enough lines. It was a nice stable moment. Yeah. I mean, for all of them to be given 1-star by everybody else in C group, I mean, I don't think all of them would get that. I'd say, let's do my guy here. I could see get more than 1-star, 2 stars. I could see him teeter on the 1-star, but he didn't have a lot of lines. So that I don't know, but he was stable with everything he did. The guy here was entertaining 2-star, drop him to 1 because of the instability near the tail end. My guy here, how he was approaching the choreography, he was stable. There wasn't a sense of, not uniqueness, but comes from the charm. I struggled to appreciate a charm about the group outside of the force. They were forcing me to enjoy, like to to partake in a concept, not this is who they are and I get to exist and enjoy it, right? And those kinds of things can, you know, they can come across very differently for a viewer, right? And I would say whenever you think about in the idol world, that is a very real thing, where if you have a group that partakes in a concept and you're like, I'm not vibing with this because it doesn't feel real or genuine, it makes you not want to support that, right? Even if you're like, hey, I really like the group, if they're not showcasing something genuine, then it kind of feels like they're lying to you, right? But here, once again, if they didn't pick the song, it's kind of hard to commit to something you didn't pick. So I also understand that side. So for this one, let's just say, let's entertain 2 1-stars, 2 2-stars maybe. Let's do half and half. I think that sounds a safe bet there. 2 and 1. Cool. That's what we're going to go with for this group. Cool beans. Okay, my next group is doing an infinite track. Is it the same infinite track of the K group? I don't know. I really enjoyed the 2 that did that one. It was so stable. Good full choreography. They did a fantastic job. So I'm curious about this one. They were not given any stars, that's right. I really liked how falsetto that blonde guy said, oh. That was good. Fun. Oh, the guy in center. Great vocals. Okay, so out of the 3, my guy in center did a very nice job. We had some straining moments with my blonde guy, and then my other guy, there wasn't a ton of notable things that made him really stand out as a unique character in the space, not in a negative way, but just in a way that helps maintain your attention. Not bad start at all. He's really nice. I would like to see him in a 2-star. Tone's not very strong. And also, he projected. It's his falsetto. Ready? Ready? Oh. And then you have that guy freaking kill it, embody it on the vocal projection. Choreo's not super awkward. It does not have a clankiness to it. I love how that's what they're doing whenever I say that. The choreography has some range concerns. Or they're... Yeah, that's not the best call to have my guy singing this section, but then he's hitting the high notes over here. It should have been a flip-flop situation. So that would be in my observation. With that, that's something I noticed with the, Super Junior Chinese track, where you had the line distribution was like, are we not listening for who you put where, and why did we make that choice? You know, but I have no idea what's going on behind the scenes on this, and that is okay. I would have flip-flopped them. That would have helped both of them. But even on the oh, it had more than just breath. It wasn't like a oh, like something intimate and wispy, which is not how you want it to come across on this particular track, because that's not how they come across. The falsetto needs to have power behind it, and so that was the difference between my guy that's going now versus the blonde guy. Very strong, if I'm being honest. If his dancing wasn't, what is it? There's a chance that he may not, I don't see him as an all-star. I would give him a 2-star, my guy in center, though. For his quality vocally, the projection and how it matched for the song very well, and every time we saw him, and his choreography, how he was presenting through it, was strong, very commendable. Now my other two guys, they faltered in some ways, so I can see both of them exist in the 1-stars. Note that I haven't said no stars yet. There isn't anybody completely lost for hope here. I am the advocate for the potential, and whenever you have situations like what we encountered in K group, it's really hard to look at somebody and go, there's no hope for you, right? I mean, it is in some capacity. If we're looking for who's debut ready right now, then just keep who's debut ready and then sending who you need to send home, which we would have a significantly smaller pool of people to work with. But also there's other politics involved, such as most likely cosmetics. There's certain typecast that's going on and certain facial structures, certain fit influences, certain character, certain companies. There's all of that we have to be mindful of, but I don't have to live in that. I can live in my own world, and we look at it in this way. So in this lens, I'm going to say one guy's going to get 2 stars. The reason why I wouldn't give him all-star, 2 reasons. First is because of who he's with, but that hasn't really influenced me before. The real thing is how they all did the choreography. Yes, he had a strong presentation, but when it comes to texture or actually looking at the techniques that he's doing, and this would be the same thing that I would instill into Infinite themselves, is whenever you're doing something within a technique such as the wave, there wasn't a lot of fluidity in a wave, and that's what helps contribute to readability and authenticity. So that's, I'm an advocate for, if you're going to do a style, no matter if you're heavily established, very popular as a group, or a trainee, or you're just a dancer, the same expectation should be held to you. Difference is a different skill set being utilized, right, and prioritized. So I digress. My point being, with this one, I can see one person getting 2 stars and then the other 2 guys getting 1 stars. But they weren't that bad, like no star bad. You know what I mean? So that's what I would say with this group. Okay, so we have Maverick by the Boys. This one is really hard to see people do well, because you saw from K group, and I said as a warning before we even watched it, it's really hard on the body and the course because of the resistance of the torso. Whew, okay, so who is this? Kaming Jie and Yi Chen. So 2 people.
Maverick. Yeah, call the letter P.
The aerial wasn't the best in the landing.
Breaking the game zone, rushing on chaser. I'm a memory. I'm a memory. Don't be a chaser. Jump up to city of mine. I'm a memory. I'm a memory. Getting a 3, 2, 1. Catch you with the 2-day push up. That's right, gonna be on the wall. Back out, the mouth show. Yeah. Every time I answer again, in the little tunes. I'm a memory. I'm a memory.
Okay, cha, don't these feel slowed down? They're not. This is normal speed, but like, I swear, if I do it like 110, what would happen? That's too fast. I don't know. It's only with the C group that I genuinely feel like they're so slow.
Maverick.
Anyway, no one needs to speed this song up, let's be honest. This one is a brutal one. Okay. The aerial, he was a little bit off, and that's being the first thing that I see from somebody is an unstable finish through an aerial, which is a no-handed cartwheel. That can set up cognitively what I'm going to be expecting within the routine, right? So far, what I'm leaning for is one of the guys from a rap side. Rap side was fine from the striped shirt dude. I would say the guy in the stripes has more charisma or presentation stage presence than my guy in the gray. I mean, they're both in Ray. This is unfortunate. So the guy in the darker gray had stronger vocals, but the guy in the stripes had better stage presence. And it was just that section. Isn't that interesting? Now, are they the ones who said that, or is that the backtrack? So that's the interesting thing there. A lot of punch force for them doing the choreo here versus the muscle engagement that they're doing here is different than the actual choreo. Now, is that a bad thing? No, I actually would commend them on the strategy of it. So they're punching it out, which is more accented, which could infiltrate the vocals, but what's going to be more fatiguing for you? The punch or having your muscles engaged and hinge it up while like through not even a strobe, but like a rebounded strobe, a reverb with a strobe muscle engagement. That's tough. And that's what really was hard, because in order to get this look to work, you had to have your core match it. And that's the hard part, right? So the fact that I think they were able to get out of that by how they were engaging in this, right? Very extremity forced. Which they survived the song. It was a bit of a struggle with some of the sections in the beginning of the verse, but what's funny is for the chorus, this is where you would expect those issues. They didn't have them here. If the guy in the stripes didn't have such a interesting choice on the first time we're hearing him vocally, I could see him go all-star, but I'm going to say save 2-star for my stripe guy. I could see both be 2-star, honestly. I wouldn't give them all-star because the aerial faltering from the beginning. They're not on the same page on some of our choreography. The guy in the stripes had pretty decent stage presence. The other guy, not as much, which whenever you're dancing with two people, that is something that can be measured is, okay, who out of these two, did both of them have great stage presence? Does one of them have more than the other? And sometimes you can see that in our movement, like how we're executing our choreography. But, I mean, they both did pretty decent. I can see them both go 2 stars. So that's what I'm going to put here. But I would say they did a very nice job. If there was only like 2 or 3 hiccups for each guy, if those weren't there, they could very easily be all-star. Okay, this one, I don't think I know the song. It's called My Field, and it's 2 different artists. It's, let me see, Lua Cheni, oh no, Weni, We, and then Wian Pei. Cool, ready.
Yo, 甩掉我的世界束缚，靠，再次当我风雨禁锢，再度改变他们的态度，站在舞台顶尖角度现在开幕，快点带领世界进入我们战斗的主场，这领域自身自由自在扎根的土壤。嘿，我把这世界紧紧掌握，不退后还玩够，这一切早已看透，哈哈，快把这欺骗给我打破，都能把握不去捉摸。来寻桑里快点所有危机。 ADPD 从来不会弃药，世界听到都是闪耀。One by one, we are never back down. I can dominate my field. 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 进入我的领域 never be afraid. 再多迈步，领悟胜负。为了梦冲，一定要是有种。应当胜利后就发现最后一次总攻。不该冲出迷雾去征服。One by one, we are never back down. I can dominate my field. I can dominate my field. I can dominate my field. 进入我的领域 never be afraid.
Man, and I know that you had to do that, right? You had to have a high note, but oh man, what it was literally until that moment, I was gonna give an all-star to the blonde guy, and then the other guy was gonna get a no star because of it's a mix of heavily unstable vocals, and it depends on where you hear them too. Because if it's in the very beginning and there's not really a lot of choreography, you really don't know if. I mean, that beginning was cool. You just. Yeah, you could tell, but he's not really using his torso, so is he saving up to have more stability in his vocals? The answer's no. Right? So we have to use patterns and predicting elements to kind of know and gander from one audition. You will have to assume a lot, right? And so that's why you have to be smart in what you want your audience to assume. Very strong on the rap side. I'm really hopeful. I don't see him going home. I do see the potential of this other guy not getting any stars, but getting a retest. Might as well. Yeah, right here. He was flat, like immediately. There wasn't a, okay, I'm unstable, and then because I'm fatigued, you're starting to hear it falter. This is a symptoms, educated guess here, symptoms of being tone deaf a little bit, which can affect other people who have, you know, really strong qualities that they can score pretty high in if they were partnered with other people. All of this, if he kept to rapping, I could have totally have seen him as an all-star. I don't see my guy in blonde being more than a 2-star though. Every time you see this guy here, it doesn't feel, it sounds harsh. It's not. Where like in a room where the air's being sucked out of it, and you're just like, there's a sense of awkwardness in the shift of quality of execution. Is what it's giving an impression here, right? Which doesn't help either of them. I mean, it can make our blonde guy stand out more in a good way, but it doesn't really help my guy who's struggling, right? Very stiff in his torso. But it helps him look like he has more torso utilization, more groove. He's also taking a lot of responsibility in the lines. Notice the difference there, my guy and they're both in leather, but the non-blonde guy, notice how isolated he was in his shoulders. He wasn't using any weight shifts to help with providing force or anything grounded to it compared to my blonde guy. And then once we started singing, unfortunately, is where things did not work in our blonde guy's favor. All of this here. Yeah. Such different movement executions here, right? Okay. So I'm going to, I can see one of our guys get no stars. I hate putting that because that means that they're eliminated. But I hope they retest and he freaking bodies it and he gets a star out of it. And then I could see my blonde guy, he was going to be all-star if he didn't sing, if he kept to rapping. But the fact that he had to sing, whether it's song distribution or like the song that he had or what, I'm going to put him to 2 stars because that was a huge, huge hole that started showing up in this routine on his end as a result of doing that part. Okay, we have a Super Junior track, Miracle. It is by Pong Jin Hui. Let's go.
Life will get better. 지금 같은 어떤 시간은 어둠이었죠. Without you, baby. 너를 만난 후 나의 생활은 꿈만 같아요, baby. 너를 좀 본 순간 I'm miracle. 나를 그저 그 바로 너란 걸 Like to get better. 난 결국 내 안고 날아 누군가 향해 날아 잠든 너희만 줄 거야 Like to get better. 너의 맘에 문을 열어줘 그대 내 손을 잡아요.
Okay, my guy here. It's kind of adorable watching him. Okay, here we go. He doesn't shortcut any choreo. He's decent in his stability. Also, I don't know on the potential or charm side. There's a good chance. This one can either be compilation. I can see this one in the episode. There's a charm about it, right? He doesn't have a sense of identity as an individual within this concept, but he's stable. Would I give him All-Star? Remember, mine is debut ready for All-Star. He's a 2-star for me. If he got All-Star though, because he has stability and he's pretty full on the choreo, it doesn't look really that awkward, right? He's using torso at times, which is nice. His range is explored. Once again, big thing, like the key change doesn't sound awkward. It is harder to measure cute concepts on the same scale as the intense ones, right? Because the intention of how it's supposed to make you feel as a viewer is different. So the expectations should be different as well. He has a lot of clarity in his choices. So for the song, I don't know. This one's growing on me a little bit, which I think could really work for him if that's the quality that he's been able to show across. Isn't that tricky? Let's actually before we see him, will we see him in the episode? I want to see him just to see what he gets, because that was so interesting. Yeah, I'll say I want to see him in some capacity. The Wake 1 group, the Maverick, I didn't even realize that was Wake 1. Okay, Maverick. They're going to show up in the episode because it's Wake 1. I'm going to say the ones that we had repeats in the songs, we're going to end up seeing those. So that would be the Infinite group, I think is going to show up. The 2US group I could see show up. Sheep Lay, I'm going to say compilation for that one. Line Star, that's either going to be comp or it's going to be no show. That I don't know. I always hope that we see all of them in some capacity because everyone deserves that, right? He's stable. Isn't he a tricky one? I'm going to go 2 stars, but if they all star him, it could be other qualities that he introduces in the episode that I don't get to see. But I'm going to say in this in isolation, is he debut ready? Where there's charm about it, but it's the charm of, look, I'm doing a choreo with the song and I'm stable in it. Man, he's an interesting one. I'm hopeful. Okay, we're going to leave it be. I'm going to say 2-star. If we went 3, don't be surprised. I wouldn't see him drop to 1, though, because he was too stable for 1. We have an EXO track join the chat. Oh man, I love it. Because if you guys didn't know, EXO, the concept that Mnet was trying to do before they changed it very quickly was debut a C group and a K group that go hand in hand with each other, promoting in different markets. EXO. That's how EXO was way back in the day. Oh man, okay. Here we go. It's Wolf. But it's Chinese version. Of course, the claws. Oh. Mmm.
野性的都慢慢抗拒，多么想要一口吞下甜的像你的你，舌吻香味，欣赏你的细腻，我用品尝红酒那样的优雅享用你。爱我那手艺是艺术，那也是鱼遇见了我这位上位，不让自己受不到病。怎么办？别怪醒过来，别乱猜，原来绝对不可能。
Such a tough one.
是今夜的晚餐。嘿，别太热。
It's that lawnmower move. Ooh. We fought for it. Oh, it looked like he was about to hit him in the head. Bless it. That's the cool quality he has. I mean, yeah, cool quality for sure. Does it remind me of the audition with Rui, right? When he had, they had he had a prop for his Why Can't I Speak Today? Oh my gosh. Okay. Pretty decent start. And then it slowly started to drop in quality, consistency, and stability. This song too is something EXO really wants erased from history, is also what I see. From that first thing there, he was either a breaker or somebody with the martial arts background. But ever since the traditional, like his sword, yeah, definitely on the traditional side, which is cool. This, how he sounds, is actually, a hot take maybe, he sounds better than the original person who was rapping. Was it Chris? And we don't like Chris just in general. He's not a good person. And I think he's in jail right now, as he should be for what he did. But it was good that Chris wasn't a part of EXO and all that went down. Good God. He's giving Tao vibes, right? It's because the song is EXO and Tao was a part of EXO. Like everybody was there during this era in Mama, and I think it was Overdose was when we had some people leave. So if he was stable the whole time, he was giving heavy Tao vibes. I could see him like pass with kind of high marks for the song choice for that and the affiliation. This part, it's so freaking fast, right? But also, here's something, is that you had for XOC, you had Schumann, Chen, Chris, Luhan, Lei, and Tao for them. And you're like, Jess, how do you know? Bruh, I was a Gen 2, Gen 3, early Gen 3 girly, so I saw when they debuted. And I also, fun fact, with Mama by EXO, that dance was what I submitted for a K-pop agency one time. That's some Jess lore for you. Isn't that funny? So me and EXO go way back compared to most groups I've had the privilege of reviewing. Starting at that point when the whole group collectively started to drop. But my guy there, he was the first one that was dropping a star from it. I would say my dude here, I could have seen pull an all-star potentially. But unfortunately, that's not what ended up happening. Dun, 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 dun. Hey, I know the Korean version more. No, they didn't do the clause, the reverb clause, right? I'm still debating. What do we do star-wise? From a unique talent side, the guy in the lime green shirt. Such a vibe, right? Parkour, let's go. Ooh. He held on, but man, it was such a very, very, very strained attempt. All of them trying to hit these high notes. Nah. This is like, when you have Baekhyun, and if you know Baekhyun from EXO, such strong, incredible vocals, live vocals. You have Dio, Do Kyung Soo. Oh my god, I love his vocals. And then Chen over on this side. He knows how to freaking hold a note. And that's the downside, too, of a song choice like this, is the people that you're being compared to, which is you're being compared to the original, they knew how to hold these notes very well, right? And so just like when you're dealing with a group that's really good at synchronicity or really good at fullness of movement range or certain style of dance, you being held to it is kind of the double-edged sword. No pun intended, but kind of. In that is that you can provide a unique element, but if you're not able to hold it down on the baseline expectations of the song that you're given, that can be really hard, which goes back to the sad part of not having the privilege of picking your song if you didn't pick it. I heard the effort to hold the note, though. Not the strongest on flexibility. He just ninja ran with a sword. I love it. He hits it, turns out of it. We already kind of saw something similar to that earlier, right? It was a fun, unique element there, which I appreciate. The charm of it's nice. So I can see the charm of the talent of my guy in the green. Yes, he's strained to reach his notes. I can see him teeter upper end 1 going into the lower end 2. Yes, I don't have tiers within the numbers, but I wish there were, because that would really help. Because just because somebody's a 2, it's not the same type of 2 as somebody who's almost a 3-2. Does that make sense? There's like a 1-2, and there's a 2-2, and then a 2-3, and then like a 3-3. It's such a weird thing in my brain. So sorry. But I'm going to say out of any of them that could teeter to the 2 realm would be the guy in the green. My other guys would be catering to 1. It's a 1 across the board with the exception of what I said. The charm of the guy in the green could bump him up to 2. Maybe. We'll see. Because charm is an element that they've recognized and said that they're going to factor in. So 2 of them is going to have 1. 1 of them's going to have 2. There it is. 1, 2, 2, 1. Great. Cool. Very interesting. Will this be in the episode? I don't know. My gut is always I want to see all of these in some capacity, just so I know what they get. So it helps me know, am I close? Am I super far off? So I'm going to say compilation, because it's an EXO track too. And this show, the format of the show originally reminded me of EXO. If we didn't have Zhang Hao and Sung Han Bin as our faces for the promos of this show, like talking in the first episode, I think it would have been so dope to get like Lei and I don't know, Lei and Kai, because they were each other's counterparts in their parallel worlds. Like they were like, this is like they're walking examples of this concept, this potential of this concept coming to life, which is what made me so excited for the show. And then I learned, of course, that's not what's happening, and then it made me really sad. But it is what it is. Our next group is tackling Really Really by Winner. Oh man. Winner's not really a dance group at all. So I'm excited. Hopefully from a vocal standpoint. Mr. Smexy over here on that right side was funny. vocals are good. Little popping out of that. Not quite clear. It's a little cobra. The risk that they took was they were supplementing lack of dance, which they did some dance, lack of dancing with vocals, and they didn't meet up to snuff. So will they get judged harsher for that? Maybe. It's the same thing as when somebody chooses to dance way more than sing and their singing's not stable. Or maybe they choose to dance more and their dancing's not, where it needs to be for supplementing as much as you have it, right? I would say out of the three, my guy with the light gray pinstripe, he was the most stable. I can see them be harsh with them and give them 1 stars. Like at least one of them. He's strong so far, my guy in the white. Yeah, notice with my 2 guys, one of them's taking a different plane of a body roll exploration compared to the guy in blonde. His is a little bit more linear. So they're not on the same page in how they're dancing together. He's got a lot of, I'm not even going to say charisma because it doesn't come across charismatic to me. It looks like I'm trying to be charismatic, not I am. Right? Which doesn't make it as believable, which makes it, you're teetering a line of cringe whenever you do that, right? Was he a little bit ahead of the music? Maybe? Nacho, really, 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 really. That's just a hard word to say, right? His tone does give a Mino vibe, yeah? A smidge here. Yeah, the guy popping in the middle, his phrasing's not super clear, but I do appreciate the effort. Yeah, a lot of his choices, he's like bulk executing, meaning he's doing a thing in its basic form, but it's not connected, which is what you want it to be. So that's my note I'm giving to that. Yeah, so I can see them be pretty harsh with them because of the lack of movement compared to other groups that have this similar stability, them judging them the way that they have. I can see one of the guys be 2-star. His vocals weren't so captivating that gave him an all-star perspective. So I'm going to say one of them's going to get a 2-star. And then I'm going to say the other 2, they could be harsh and give them 1 stars. Because they weren't consistent. And they weren't stable 100% of the way. And also, I have no idea how they are. The thing, too, is I'm only going off of what I'm perceiving from a video. I did not talk to them or interact with them whatsoever. So that could be different, too. Like, how they are before they perform. It could read their stars very differently. So I have to remember that as well. Next, I have, what is it? Song, not familiar with. Looks like just a single, one person. What is it? Wang Wei Dong. Will we see the previous Really Really? I could see that one in the show. Would it get its own thing? Because they just sing for the most part. They do like a little bit of dancing with some little breakout dance. I'm going to say it's in it. Let's say it's in the show. Let's see about this one.
Oh, nah. Whoa, whoa. 它不是我解药，是放肆点一起找到接近你的方式。我没什么可学到的资本，
His parents were cool.
学习生自尊。有人让我从身的翻车，你掌控我的快乐还有难过。有 bus 掉说你真是慢热，我的形容越的不为所以，让我怀着心怀不能够脱离，把我的心当给剖析，解开我是不是吃身有逻辑？你让我变得有点狼狈，你让我思念变江水，跌下了我自私的防备，想知道你所属的方位。我你的一举一动冲平我的脉搏，因为你的出现让我优越别人太多，看着你的眼睛里面再次燃起来火，我想只适合你就唱只适合你。哎，玫瑰快要枯萎，谁能给你抚慰？宇宙中间我会刻下名做爱的墓碑，把我改成了我们开始到了末尾，就让我掉进火可也让我不怨不悔。
I don't see him faring very well. Just like we had our Really Really group not really do a lot of dancing. We have to remember with the Boys to Planet. The group that we have as a result of the show, heavy on the dancing side, so it's very safe to assume because of what kind of tracks are being selected, the type of auditions we're encountering, and the stars that are reflecting it, dance is going to be something that is prioritized within the final group. We don't actually know, but that's what my gut is leaning towards. So whenever you have somebody that is not dancing really that much and they're singing with a mic, which is one thing, but we're not, there's not a lot of room for me to have any educated guesses, or if you're unstable or you're not hitting a note, I can't base it off of whether or not you're dancing and it's a stimula regulation thing. It's just you're just not hitting the note, which will really impact the potential of where you are and how much can we salvage it for the show and the timeline within it. So I don't know if they're going to give him stars for this, which is really unfortunate. So I'm going to say, I don't know if we'd give him 1 star because he doesn't have a lot of the charm. It was we're just doing an audition at a karaoke bar is what it does give that impression on, not I've made this track my own, or unless it's their track. I don't know. I haven't heard the song, but unfortunately there were more cons to pros for this, and I wish that everybody stayed in the show. They would probably retest him because he would probably get no stars is what I'm leaning into. Will he show up? Oh man, compilation at best. I don't think they're gonna give him his own little blurb. I mean, they may not. I know some of these don't show up in the episode. I'm just giving myself a benefit of the doubt that they all do. I'm gonna say compilation for that. Okay, next up we have like 5 people that are doing an HOT track, which when we had Gen 1 teeter kind of choreography or routine from the K group, I had my thoughts on it where it may work for you, may work against you. It just depends on circumstance because the choreography is not as prioritized, and for this type of show, choreography can really be helpful to you if you showcase stability through it. So I'm curious about how this is gonna go. That really caught me off guard.
내 자꾸 익숙하면 그냥 말해 난 나지랑이 아파자 안 돼 아무것도 내게 떠미 안돼 팍팍해 모두 팍팍해 냉산 욕망로 팍팍해 4, 3, 2, 1 내 원편을 네 친구라도 나를 죄짓고 싶은데 해도 했어 난 너의 바보 되고 만드는 널 짚어봤어 하얀 난 꿈도 빼앗아갔어 너무너무게 내 나이 정립했고 이제 난 너를 포기했어 그들은 널 짚어봤어 한난 꿈도 다 가져갔어 힘을 찾아봤어 아무 해도 없어 이제 네가 나를 보냈겠어
Oh man, and it's not that anybody doesn't have the potential to get higher than a 1-star. I can see this entire group collectively get a 1-star because line distribution didn't allow for many people to get to show themselves. Choreographically, it's not super competitive. That helps supplement the lack of line distribution for people. Right? That's the downside of having a full lineup like this. That yell really, really was funny, personally. I love that. Saying the arms around. Our accents, like, they're not doing poorly enough on the choreography, nor on the vocals to be showcased for poor technique. So it's not that. I also don't know, I guess what I'll do, because I hadn't seen the K episode, was it this? No. I have a whole, see, I have so many lists. What's this? K groups right here. Okay. There was the group that did a track from a Gen 1. Part of me feels that if that group got showcased in the episode, this one will. What is it? The P Nation group? Yeah. I think, but P Nation's a more notable group. But I don't know how much skin in the game Psy has to Mnet production. I mean, he has a whole freaking statue in Gangnam, so I don't know. Like, I'm gonna say whatever. If the P Nation group shows up in the episode, they'll show up because it's a parallel of this era of music. That's what I'm gonna go off of. Okay, but there's not a competitive poor or high level that makes it desirable to want to see. I mean, Mnet can do whatever they want to whatever kind of editing, right? A little butterfly out of it. But a lot of the pockets that we're exploring choreographically, meaning the timings, are going to be very basic. Because remember, the Gen 1 side is not how it is nowadays. Some of our guys, I would say, could teeter into the no-star category, which is really unfortunate because we don't have a lot of opportunity to hear them. So, whatever time we're given, like that guy there, the guy there, man, now I think about it, it's starting to falter a little bit, and because of the simplicity of the choreography, just like what we were looking at our previous groups, where we're heavier on, or previous auditions, we're heavier on the singing, but the singing wasn't supplementing enough for the lack of dancing, which is a very strange thing to say, but for the competition that we're in, dancing is something that needs to exist because you have an entire signal song challenge that's going to be off of dancing that's about to happen too. So that's why it's a huge risk to not have dancing in your routine. This type of choreography isn't competitive compared to other choreographies we've seen in the session. And then still having struggling vocals will impact the charisma and the talent side. I could see maybe I'm going to say 2 out of the 5 survive in the group. Let's say 3 of them don't, is what I'm going to say. But will we ever know? I hope so. Make these boys show up so we can see them. Yeah, like I like the bow and arrow, a little crisscross out of it. So I'm going to say 2 are going to be 1 star. I'm going to say 3. Oh, I hate putting this, but I'm going to say 3 are going to be no star. Yeah. Oh man, that's unfortunate. Well, they show up. I already said it's going to be in direct affiliation to the DOE, DEAX, the P Nation group. If theirs shows up, theirs may show up, because I've really been seeing how Mnet's trying to reflect on both sides of it. We'll see though. Okay, Lucifer by Shiny. Part of me thinks it'll show up because we had replay show up. So I guess the fate of this one will be on whether or not the replay one will show, but it's not the same track, same artist. So let's see though. Lucifer's tricky. It's popular now more because of the tutting. So polyrhythmic, that part. 없는데. Oh man, this duet, they're bringing out each other's weaknesses. Yeah, they didn't supplement very well here. Oh no! Oh, that's so unfortunate. Man. I can see this guy here retest and do well because of his vocal potential. This is a straight up example of like, we're not regulating our vocals to our movement. But we also haven't done enough for that to be as a thing right now. We're not even like 20 seconds in maybe. Like, this part was fine. Good for my guy here with the gloves. I mean, they both have gloves. But, like, the full-on sleeve, like, black with just one line. You don't have a breakage in it. I mean, for the fact that you're able to do that in gloves for both of them is fun. We have more fullness coming from our full leather guy. Oh, could this pull hot editing? I don't know. I don't think so. Because it wasn't on, we're not off beat in the dancing. It's just our vocals aren't stable. Gonna know Lucifer. That little glitch effect in the track too. And we're also adding vibrato in places you normally wouldn't hear it. Like, he has a vibrato there. So he has vocal ability. But my other guy, unfortunately, is not faring in that area. Lover. Yeah, so if they couldn't pick the song and this is what they were given, that's really hard because one of the elements of the song that makes it stand out is the usage of the auto-tune in it. Auto-tune is not a coping way of escaping competency, but it can be a really cool tool that's utilized. Theodore Payne, T-Pain touches on this. T-Pain knows how to sing, but T-Pain made his career off of utilizing the tool of auto-tune. It's really cool, very fascinating just to hear him talk about it, but also hear him in his music. It's very iconic. I love it. this track, the auto-tune within it is what helps shape the sound in the fullness of it, with the usage of the the mini members and part of it, with how it's used. Here, da da da, it's so monotone. It's really hard to do without an aid like that to keep it engaging, right? So that's a really hard thing. If they didn't get to pick the song, they got shot in the foot hard for it, unfortunately. So I can see both of them have to retest. The guy on the left survived, the guy on the right not. So I hate saying this. They're teetering on a 1-star, no star. Both are going to get the same result. It's either no or 1. 1 star, they're not going to retest. No star, they'll retest. And 1 will survive, 1 won't, is what I'm going to put there. Will this show up in the episode? My gut is always I hope so we can actually see the results of these things, but you never know. Next, we have Gum, but Planet C version. I'm going to safely assume this one's going to show up in the episode because I believe the other Gum was. So let's see. And it's the exact same song. Exact same song equates it's showing up on the episode.
Let's go.
Oh, there's 2 people.
On the floor, keep popping low. Check out.
That's cool.
I'm always on fire. Go ahead, that gun, you're going.
So they do a different one. Okay. Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Not because some they were on the floor. We still keep up and blow. Let's go.
No jazz split. Starting a waiver at the end. Okay, so now, as soon as I saw the pelvic thrust, I do remember what I said about the K full cam of Gum, was I didn't know if it was going to be in the episode because of the controversy the song has stirred for the pelvic thrust in it, which I've said already. It's like, it's a pelvic thrust, whatever. It's not, I don't see as big of the concern as what a lot of people who had that sensitivity were upset about. For me, I'm like, we need to touch on some other issues before we criticize him for that. But I digress. Let's actually talk about this. Okay, I'm going to safely assume this is in the episode because it is the exact same song. And I would extend the same sentiments to the other Gum. So from the choreographic standpoint, they do a pretty good job staying together. But the guy with the blue pants has a wider range in his choices. So far, they're giving all-star energy, which is nice, right? Until that. And then also, how he hits the I can't even do it to his pitch. I believe it's it's what the note is there. It should be here. Dun, dun, dun. Oh, yeah. So, I don't know if that was just his attempts of being different. That I don't know. So, can I see them as 2 stars? Yeah, I would keep them at the stars that they were issued. Is what we're going to call it. They were issued their stars. The knock there, it would be cool to see their split, but it was smart if they couldn't do it, right? Smart to not have it in there. And also my guy in blue has more fullness in his choices as well. But you're starting to hear his vocals waver. with a finish. So I can see this one, both of them rest at a 2-star. Will this show up? I already said. Say it one more time. Yes, I do think this one will show up. So we'll actually know if they get to keep their stars or not. Oh boy, it's my guy. I said he looked like Songhwa. Like his fit gives Songhwa vibes, right? From 80s. But he's doing Kai, which also makes sense. I hope he's in the episode because he was such a vibe in any time we saw him. Okay, let's go. Ready, ready, ready. Oh, I want him in the episode.
내게 익숙한 네 표정이 감이 안 잡히고 가슴 골이 찾아 휘미이는 like bye 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 그저 이리 저리 나는 들러 상근 남서 평균 나는 서로 가던 길을 그저 그냥 Take a ride with me 내 차에 없기 원하니 바람이 어디로든 있겠지
not there yet.
Stop 이만 버려 Mr. Go, go, go I'm coming over, over, over Come here, go, go, go I'm coming over 이만 버려 Mr. 못된 걸어 내 뜻대로 시선을 넘겨가는 대로 Go, go, go I'm coming over, over, over 널 가진 생각을 뒤집어 모이는 그대로 watch me go Because if you can let me do so, it is my body, Mr. Oh, yeah. I'm coming over, it is my body, I'm coming over.
Oh, my heart goes out to him. I don't know if he'll get a star with the performance. Because how he was doing the choreography, this is the tricky thing with Kai, because Kai doesn't groove, which depending on the concept works in his favor. In other concepts, that would be a note of workshopping, right? This choreo in particular, he fared pretty decently on the course, but people are going to expect a certain degree of charisma in the execution, more than the execution itself. And because the vocals of the na na na, like it's seductive, right? And how Kai presents it, just like that whole little era of his work. I think because his stability is off and his pitch is off, it doesn't tie into the charisma that the song requires for it to read the way that it does. So I think those components worked against him, right? Adding vibrato in areas that doesn't help the song as a whole. A lot of his choices are extremity heavy, not engaging on the torso, but remember we just made the note about that. Where at least Kai uses his shoulder, like you see some of that get used. But we're keeping a lot of our choices centralized instead of letting them travel out. And then we stop. And then when we stop, there is no like stop, da 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 da. There's no reset on like, oh, that is a contributing factor to how the song resonates, right? So I don't know if he's gonna survive this audition, guys. Oh no. Because even his choices, there's this rigidness in this hinge down with the wrists that he didn't complete on both sides. That's a guada guada that I gave a note to Kai about because I think he over isolated, but like it's a no, I think he actually did okay with that. Cause like that part, it's fine, but there's not a lot of power in it. But could it be because of the things we talked about? Maybe. Rotating it through. And also our pitch. I'm touching so much on the dancing, but if in all honesty, the vocals are really not helping. A high note, we're not. It's interesting that he also pulled the mic and we actually heard him less. Normally you see the opposite. Oh, I wonder if he did that because he's yelling. Maybe. He's coming over. Oh, okay. So, Unfortunately, I don't see him going very far past this audition. Would he retest? It would be nice to see. Will we see him in the episode? I said I would love to see him in the episode. I don't know if he'll be in it or not. You know, some of these aren't making it, but I'm gonna give him a no star. But I'm hopeful he can retest for a 1 though. Okay, we have a treasure track. Got some YG in the house here. What is this? Chick Jin by Treasure. I don't think I've heard it. Maybe I have. And then we got, looks like 2 people from IX that are involved in it. Let's go.
I'm addicted to your love. Yo, 너에게 미친 사랑에 미친 담대수 너에서 비키라. 너내 멈춰 나타나는 반전. 그 눈부신 숨을 불려. 나의 느끼지와는 다른 허치지 않는 발걸음. 이미 저 답은 너 철저져 없잖아. What's up? 그래 직진 너를 더 직진. 내 감정이 기름으로 심장이 뜨는 그 불렀던 drum. 유아세와 기다려왔어 바라봤으러.
Remember what I said at the very beginning of our analysis? I mean, it's not even analysis. These are just overviews and breakdowns. I don't really do analysis. Because dance is subjective, so you can't measure it the same way as when you look at numbers, which is why I'm trying to not say analysis in these. You remember what I said in the beginning, where it's like, we got a lot of all-stars out the gate. I'm like, the no stars, 1 stars are coming. Boom. They're here. Okay, we've been in them for a while now. Well, let's be in the episode. When I look at a 1 star, no star, part of me gives the impression it's either a company affiliation, a song affiliation, or it's the quality of what we're seeing is so off and unrefined. Mnet can work their terrible magic to really make it a memeable moment. I can see this one teeter in the meme world, which is really unfortunate for me to say. From the choreography standpoint, I mean, like, it's not too off, but vocally, it's not our strongest. No, this isn't like Chick Chick Boom Dude, but like that dude though, there was such like a homely like warmness about it that like it made you want to root for him so bad. But here it's so strained. Yeah, I mean, they're holding it better on the stability side compared to other people. That simpler choreo. Restrained. Like, yeah, like we're declaring, but it's not very helpful. Like even there, like how they're projecting the ranges are off, meaning that how they're executing one move to another is different, and so that may not help them in terms of uniformity, regardless if Treasure's known for it or not. When you're dancing together, that's something that is expected. Oh, man. I'm hopeful that if they're in the show, it is because somebody on panel choreographed the song, not the condition of their vocals and how they're executing the song, right? I mean, they're not really that bad on the dancing side. With with a fun little reverb finish, it's really just the vocals. And I've said this about quite a few other groups within the, you know, what we've been viewing, that their dancing is fine. As the vocals are unstable, is that enough for Mnet to pull their ploys and make it look like a terrible audition? They've done that before. I don't know if this one's going to be in the show, in the episode. I'm gonna say compilation. It's good compilation energy, maybe. But I don't expect them to fare very well. The dance will get them to 1 star. Both of them are gonna have 1 star. But they did fine. They did fine on the dancing. Like, I do feel pretty okay with that. And I do like their outfits. They are very cool. Okay, next we have a GOT7. Okay, by group SKY. Is that an agency? Is that a group? I don't know, but I'm watching. Let's go! Oh, this is that bedrock focused one. Bedrock. It's like a rock version. With a fun little grab. Okay, because I said the previous one had a compilation vibe, I'm gonna say it gets comped with this one. Cool, might as well. Because both showcase similarities in vocal instability. I believe the former group, the Treasure group, did better on cohesion and the choreography, and they had harder choreo. Here, they were more stable, but the other group was more cohesive as a duo. This guy had pretty stable vocals. The other one had more of a unique tone in his rap, right? His fit's really cool too with the French. Ooh, I almost pulled my cord out of my camera. Uh-oh. Let me see. Every night. So this is a tricky part of the song, because it definitely gives a whisper vibe, but you need to be able to project. Ooh, da 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 da. Way, way, way. Another component in all of this that I can't measure is how clear is the diction when we're covering a Korean track in the C group section. I can't verify that. Yeah, notice the fullness of my guy here on that stage left side. Or right side, yeah. Really great on that. But that doesn't contribute effectively to the duo as a whole, though. Little bridge recovery. They almost fell over. I get that, though. Bridge recoveries can be really tricky. With a grab to the finish. So, let's give them the same benefit of the doubt with Treasure. My Treasure group. All 4 of the people that we saw are gonna get the 1 stars, right? I don't think any of them should go home over these, but were they notable for these incredible movement qualities that supplemented for the vocal instability, that I don't believe so, because some people have those qualities where like their dance is so captivating but the vocals are so unstable. That's the only way that they salvage their audition in that moment, right? So that's why I always advocate for the retests while we have them. Everyone gives equal opportunity for them. But if all of these guys teeter in the 1 stars, it would be a little bit harder to want to go for it, for the sheer fact if you can get eliminated as a result of it because you're teetering on a fine line. But it's interesting kind of comparing these two. I can see them both show up in the episode and I can see neither of them. I don't know. But it was really fun to watch though. Okay, this is our final group. This is frequency wavy track. We got 5 people. I'm going to go out on a limb and say, because it's our very last one, this one's going to be in the episode. I have no idea in what capacity, but let's find out.
Get it on my frequency. Get it on my frequency. We get it started. We stay hitting guitar, hitting your system regardless. Actually, what's the booty? 不是自己律不意外。Radio, radio, 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 why? 大声的拼，也许全力超前。
Hey, this is strong.
We get it on. Never say slow it down. 平视线外，都就在里。铃声响起，未来风风风风。We walk in on my frequency， 给你传送无所遁形 happening。Pop step pop， 跳跃落进 ATC。Yeah, get on my level, get on my level, yeah. Take it up, sit up, hey. 看我的节奏。We walk in on my frequency， yeah. Make it up on your dimension。
Hey, hey. Composition's clear. Is Wavy a group of 5? I actually don't know. I know 10's in it though. And when is it Win-Win? Falsetto, golly. Cool. That's an all-star across the board because they remind me a lot of the IST group that happened from last week's K-Planet episode. They all received an all-star, even if one of them was teetering too. They still honored them into the all because of the cohesion, collaboration of the group as a whole contributed to a successful audition. So I really, really liked this. They did a great job. Very successful. Nice and full. Composition wise, everybody matched in intensity when they needed to. We had some people showcase really cool, really cool stability, but versatility. There was somebody who went falsetto into something more intense near the end. I'll see if I can pick him out. Yeah, and they all have some really interesting, unique tones. It doesn't sound like they're covering a wavy track. It's this is our track, welcome, right? Which is really cool. I'm hoping they're in the episode. This is a great audition. And of course, being seen helps. That little, come on now. We have just like maybe 1 or 2 little stability, not issues, but I can tell that we have to recalibrate here. But for what the choreo is, goodness gracious, with a Harlem into a toss, into a speed change out of that, they kept their intensity or how they were captivating the whole time. This was great. Little snap action there. Come on, dance break, boom, hit, da-da, boom, and yeah. And little Superman, I love that. That was a cute little moment. Risky because it shows more personality and branches away from the original. Or unless that's what they do, I don't know, but it's fun. Yeah, that's it. Yeah, and that does look like we're trying to go crump. I don't know if Wavy does it. I'd have to look at Wavy to see how they do it because sometimes when you try to go into crump, your posture looks super off because it's not authentic, right? Crump is such a raw style, spiritual style too. Really nice on the breaking floor work there. It's clear. So now you have a high note in that back. Come on now. So it's polyrhythmic vocally, which is super dope. Now we're hearing. And we got some high notes here. It's a little bit of a struggle there, right? But that dude right there who just went falsetto has great intensity after it, right? That's fantastic versatility. That was a great audition. I hope we see this one. I would give this an all-star across for very similar reasons that you saw that with the IST group, like what we already just touched on. Awesome, we did it. What's interesting is I really have no idea how accurate or far off I am on either the K or the C because I haven't seen either episode. The goal is this time tomorrow, for myself, when I'm recording this, I would have at least watched one of the 2 episodes, but they're lengthy, they're good vibes, I'm excited for it. Just keep that in mind whenever you're giving commentary. At least put spoiler alert, because there may be other people who encounter me first before watching the episode. I don't know. But I had a lot of fun. I have my notes here, and I'm looking forward to seeing more, just more quality talent on stage. But hopefully we don't see too much crappy manipulation, but it's Mnet, so we just have to brace ourselves. It's a ride for sure. Y'all know me, I know you. I'm Jess, and I will catch you on the flip side. Bye.